White Approach won the American Grand Prix, and there was just all sorts of mid-range control decks scattered among the top 8s and top 16s. So we figured we'd give his deck a try. I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't have a second Search for Ascanta in it because it's my favorite card, you know, basically in Standard, probably ever. But we'll give the list a try. Other than that, the main deck's actually very close to the Esper list we were playing before M19 even came out, which at that time in our testing we were determined that it was just exceptionally good versus the red decks, like especially the slower red decks, and that seems to just be all they were leading up to this format, at least on MTGO. And hopefully that carries through. That's probably bad. I would say we're not happy to play versus Turbo Fog, if that is what they're playing, which is what I'm going to assume that they're playing every time I see that card. Because if it is, we basically have a million dead cards already in our hand. Hey, who cares? What is up? Thank you for the kind words. Trying to be a little quiet right now because I forgot to close my door and I am far, far too lazy to ever stand up. Standing up's for chumps. It's unfortunate they have a search, but we only have one in our deck, so. It's what I refer to as a problem o'clock. Well, we can't really counterspell that, even though I would love to. Well, our hand's kind of fantastic for what's going on right now, but without the mana to cast a disallow after the Teferi, I don't feel like it's worth playing, and if we just don't draw another land for a while, this could be a problem. Could have syncopated for one, but because they have the Gift of Paradise, we knew with any land drop they'd be able to play Teferi and pay to one. Maybe I should just stop talking since everything that I'm talking about right now is like pretty simple. I forgot to put the white in the pool, or the blue in the pool rather. Rip. Misspoke. I mean, do I actually even care if that resolves? Doesn't do anything if they get unless they get a planeswalker in play. I don't know. I guess our syncopate's not particularly good, so. I think they might be a little bit more played, but not really. I actually think the Turbo Fog deck doesn't have that bad a match versus the control decks. Esper might be a slight bit different because we have access to the discard spells as well. The same with like Grixis or like blue-black mid-range, all of those things. But like when it just comes to blue-white control, I've had really good results with Turbo just beating like blue-white control. Like the Turbo Fog can position itself in so many turns where like they set up multiple turns in a row and really tax your mana, or like force you to counterspell their time walks. And if you're counterspell, you only have like even take this deck where we have like the max number of disallows, then we have two syncopates, we have one negate, and I'm doing parentheses with my fingers here. We have four torrential gearhulks, which costs like infinite mana. But like if you add even all of that up, we only have 11 counter spells total. So it's like really easy for them to like leverage spots to where they make us counterspell in spots to where it's advantageous for them. It when you add the black control decks in and you have the discard spells, it's a lot harder for them to set those things up. If this is a Karn, I may let it resolve and just like contempt it next turn. If it's a Teferi, I obviously have to disallow it because he can tuck my Teferi. So that's 5. guess we're going to cycle this. We might be tucking this next turn. We drew all 4 of our disallows this game, plus a syncopate, so that's like exceptionally good for us. But like, you have to admit, drawing 4 disallows and a syncopate in your top 18 cards. Well, I mean, I guess we did cycle 2 downs, but so top 20 cards, like, that's not a very likely thing to happen. So if it's Karn, it probably resolves. Okay, not Karn. I kind of want to get rid of the Search Razcanta, but we're so close to Teferi Ultimate and we have 3 hard counter spells to protect it, I think it's just safe to go for the more, what I'm going to refer to as aggressive play. Not sure what they're playing. It's probably their own Glimmer, but they can have their Glimmer. Also should not have played my land first, but I would have played an untapped land regardless, but like, I still shouldn't have played the land first. It gives them more information. But like, even if we hit a cycle land here, I wouldn't play a cycle land here. Because I want to be able to make sure I have 2 disallows post-combat. Or sorry, like, post-Teferi untap. I said combat, but that's because I'm illiterate and can't talk. So we'll put that one on top and that one on bottom. Just 2 random blue lands. Goodbye, Fatal Push. It'd be interesting to see whether they have like Nezahal or Carnage Tyrant in their sideboard. Go ahead and cycle this now. To see what they have. OVC. I played Insult and Injury in one of my main decks that I think I streamed this week. People are talking in my hall. Apologize. Hey, Juke. What is up? I got come back by having uncomfortable chill. And oh, you're playing Fog now. Murph has joined the Fog crew. You can have that too. So discard those, and then since we're not playing any spells, we'll go ahead and move to the end step and discard our Essence Scatter. Just matched with a girl on Tinder. Tinder does not even exist where I live. And my dating profile would just say resembles Jabba the Hutt, so I'm pretty sure I would not get many matches. Did I forget to play a land that turn? I don't think I did. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we didn't forget to play a land. You matched my catfish account. I would firmly believe that Smurf would have such a thing. Like, that would not surprise me if that's actually true. I don't know whether he's trolling or not, but like, I would not be shocked if that is super true. Oh, I guess they're going to concede after this third counterspell. Oh, they're tapped out. We can just do the Gearhulk counterspell, right? Yeah, they're tapped out. I assume they concede on this. Yeah. We could have countered it too, then untapped and Teferi Ultimate, then cast the Gearhulk main phase and got the Glimmer back and killed both of these lands, and that might have been a better line. But I'm not sure. Like, that was the other thing I was considering, just like using a disallow here, and then untapping, ultimating this, playing this main phase, casting the Glimmer, and killing this and this. I'm not sure how they would come back. They would be down to only 1 blue mana. 3 of their Teferis would be gone. We would still have mana for 1 hard counter disallow. And if we hit something like a Glimmer Genius, like we would have got a draw step. Plus we would have got 2 scries. We'd have probably put both of those on the bottom. Then 2 more draw steps. Then we would have got at least 1 cycle. So we'd have got to kill that as well. That may have just been the better line. The way we played it, we were going to have multiple hard counter spells on the next turn, but I mean, we wasn't killing any permanents, and like somehow maybe they could have got around it. I don't know. Anyway, so I think these are pretty key cards here. Feel like all of our counter spells are pretty good here. I think our Spyglass is good here. I think these are good here. I kind of want Detection Tower because they could be on the Carnage Tyrant plan. If they're on the Carnage Tyrant plan, that's a bit of a problem. I kind of want Mutavault just because of the flash. Like, it could be a nice flash way to pressure a Teferi. But I'm not sure if that's right. I know cards that I don't want. I definitely don't want those. I definitely don't want these. I don't want to shave the Field of Runes since they're like a field search Rask or 2 or 3 search Raskanta deck usually. I don't really want to get rid of the Forsake the Worldly either. So like maybe I just can't bring in all these cards. Down to 38. Oh crap! I was gonna say we're down to 38 seconds, so I guess I don't have a whole lot of time to think. But anyway. Let's just go ahead and slam all those back in the deck real quick. I feel like it's probably correct to bring this in as well. So what's like less good here then? Probably like shave one of these, shave one of these. This is the Dazani list. Alright, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't have enough time to make decisions, so at this point I'm just like basically dragging cards out. I had 1 second. How I just sideboarded probably can't be right, and I probably... Oh, the Essence Scatters! Ah, it took too long talking, and I didn't take the Essence Scatters out. So we took that 3 Essence Scatters out, we would have our land, we'd have our Contempt, and we'd have our Gearhulk. We'd have every card I want. Well, no, I guess I still want the Syncopates. But yeah, played very badly there. I took too long talking before I went to sideboarding, and then I just wasn't paying attention. Wasn't focused. Hopefully it doesn't come to punish us in this game. But yeah, that was really bad. This could be like a bunch of different relevant cards at the moment. Salty, salty, salty. Can't believe I left Essence Scatter in. Sorry, Joe or Gobo or Gabo. I don't actually know how to make sound show up on my computer because I listen to sound through speakers. So like even if I played music, it'd be coming out of my speakers and it would sound really weird for you guys, I think. I'm not sure though. Maybe I could just like turn music on and keep my thing muted and you guys could hear music and I couldn't? But that doesn't seem fair. There's music being played, I want to hear it. so we're waiting on our opponent. Oh, cool. Another dead card. Well, this game is very different than the other game, as this game we have no disallows. So I did a little something there that I like to do on Moto. It was like feign that I had F6 pressed. I don't know what they're waiting on and thinking about. So those two essence scatters would have either been Syncopates, Gear Hulks, or an Island. It would have been two of these four cards. It would have probably been a Syncopate and an Island. Interesting. I thought I'd just play this one. We didn't have a counter spell for a Karn anyway, so even if they had Karn plus counter spell, it was going to resolve. It's kind of interesting that they tapped their mana in a way to leave one blue up. Did they have Spell Pierce in their deck? That'd be a bit wild. Wouldn't mind to draw a negate here. So yeah, I already think that us not having or us having these two essence scatters is probably going to cost us a chance at this game. Can I get you something against the wind? I'm not, it's just Nezahal? Yeah, that is just Nezahal. Kinda want both of these, but I obviously can't have both of them. That card is considerably less good now. That card's still fine. I'm not even breathing. That's kind of weird. I was biting my nail. I apologize if I'm breathing super hard. I don't even hear it. So we probably can't beat Nezahal from this spot without drawing exactly, without drawing probably exactly the other thing that we need. Our chromium. That's right, I forgot to sideboard out Essence Scatter. Enjoy. If I counterspell, you get to draw a card. That's not good for me. No, whatever. I think that card's still good enough to counterspell. Yeah, you get to draw a lot of cards here. Red Rover, send Chromium on over. This card's very good versus control decks. We probably don't need to bring this back in. They're probably not playing this and Carnage Tyrant. I think I just attack again. I have exactly 7 mana now. So if I play Gear Hulk, they can just Nexus of Fate at the end of turn. Just don't think anything we play is going to resolve, so let's just lead with this thing. I have at least 2 ways to block this. I'm not going to attack this turn because in case they get a Teferi in, they could bounce and kill us. Or like additional Nexus of Fates and stuff. Yeah, that's fine. Fortunately, we can't even fight for that. Too many things just kill us if we lose that fight. And now we're dead if they have a counterspell. Or not dead, but like we don't have an out. Enjoy, opponent. Oh, actually, we are dead. This resolves, they bounce, and they just attack twice because they get another turn. Alright, well, we don't need you anymore. Okay. Apparently, we don't get the sideboard. Okay, here we go. We don't need you anymore. So quickly put that there. We definitely want the 26 land. We definitely want these. And these if we can get away with it. I don't think I want this card as much anymore. And I think we can get rid of all three of these. I think I want these now. Because if they have a Nezahal, just being able to steal a Nezahal seems good. They're probably in pretty serious trouble anyway if they resolve something, so we'll shave a contempt as well. Yep, this is probably a keep. Though it's not outstanding by any means. Oh, they brought in Gear Hulks. Wow. Okay. I think I'm going to take the Search for Azcanta and call Teferi. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to take this Search for Azcanta and call Teferi. Maybe I'm supposed to sideboard out some of my Teferis, but this is only a one of, so I doubt it. That's kind of unfortunate. Let's see if they get an untapped blue land. They did. Ah, that's such a tilt. Now they can resolve the Baral. Probably should have Field of Rune. Probably should have cast Field of Rune, used it last turn to get a second blue. Because now I'm going to use my mana for the next couple of turns. Seems like a pretty easy counterspell on this one. Especially since they have the Teferi already in their hand. Not excited about that. I'm surprised that they didn't use their spell. This is a play mistake. I should have glimmered in response to the activation. Because now they know they're drawing a card that they want, probably, with the Scry. I feel like that was a pretty big mistake by me. I guess this way it gives a possibility to set it up to where they can't zero for value, but the problem with this is the odds of them Nexus of fading next turn are just super high. Not sure what we need to draw. They have 4 cards in their hand at least. Don't want either of these. Ooh, the duress actually isn't that bad. Wish we had the glimmer back now. Haha. Card's brutal. We're not in very good shape. Because between the Jace's defeat and the Gear Hulk, they're like set up for multiple turns. And they have the Nexus of Fate on top of all of that. Come on, stop hitting lands like that. I know you put them there, but I can still be sad about it. They put both cards on top of their library this time. I really want to cycle, but I don't want to get smashed by a Nexus of Fate either. Oh, cool. Another land. Well, this is not going well at all. I'm surprised they didn't cast Nexus that turn. Like, we are so far behind, it's insane. It's kind of what I was saying earlier, though. These decks are just actually very good versus control. Our draw this game has been kind of bad, but I wonder if I should have just let them have the search early. We have found 13 lands or something right now, right? That's been played. Yeah, we've only saw 8 non-land spells and 21 spells or something. Not a lot, Dan. Getting smashed right now. Getting smashed very hard at the moment. Next turn we can play a Gear Hulk and a Disallow though, so hopefully that'll change things. Not sure why he didn't attack first. Alright, well hopefully we can find one of our 2 Nezahals. Feel like we have to keep this card whether we want to or not. Huh. The Nexus of Fate's an interesting draw, but we don't really have enough mana to leverage it. Yeah, the band deck is pretty good. So we're going to have to do something this turn with, like, contempting the Nezahal and seeing if he gives up his 3 cards for it, and then, like, disallowing the bounce and him getting a 2nd card. They'll end up with 2 cards. Or just like maybe there's something else we can do. Who knows? It'll depend on what we draw. And we'll start thinking about the turns. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what's the best way to do this? Can't really do anything with the Teferi, so I think it's just contempt this. Disallow to contempt, attack that. Hey Blitz, what's up? Or is it just better to kill the Nissa and not care? I don't think it's better to kill the Nissa and not care. I think I'm like forced into caring. We know their hand's pretty strong too, though, so like them discarding 2 out of those cards, or I guess the card they draw could be bad, but them discarding even 1 of those cards seems pretty good. Right now they have 4 cards, so they'd have to discard 2 of them. One of them can obviously be the Teferi. Alright, so what did they discard? They kept the Nexus of Fate. Oh no, they got rid of the Nexus of Fate, so it's shuffling. So they got rid of every card we know. So now they're left with a totally unknown. Well, 2 totally unknowns. Would love to draw another counterspell. What they do, put 2 cards on the bottom of their library, sure. Oh, they have Carnage Tyrants too. Now that's not something I expected. I expected no Carnage Tyrant when they showed us Nezzy. So it's 10 mana now. It'd just be better to play this. That way I can play double spell next turn. this one also can't be negated. It can only be Jace's defeated, so that's a little bit better for us. I mean, they can obviously like negate the Verastica's Contempt, but like if we can just get the body into play, that's kind of nice. Oh, fair enough. Thank you. Yeah, I forget that. Good point, Scooter. Well, it's a good choice that we made this decision anyway. Seems like we picked correctly. Getting the Teferi on the board's not that bad, though. We do have ways that we can kill the Spyglass if it's, like, advantageous for us. But no, that's a pretty good catch. Yeah, I guess one of each. So 6 plus that. Alright, I guess we're passing then. I wonder what their plan is here. We have Viziers of the Remedies in our deck too, or whatever, so maybe there's a spot where we'll be able to like copy the Carnage Tyrant or something. Whoops. I tapped one too many, but on Moto it's going to untap regardless. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell to go with this. I brought Vizier in because I was afraid of Nezahal. And I was a little afraid of Carnage Tyrant, but I assumed they didn't actually have Carnage Tyrant once they showed us Nezahal. Is there anything in my graveyard I care about? I don't think so at this point. I think we're just trying to find another Contempt. Like, I assumed when they showed us, sorry, this card, that they also didn't have this card, but, like, I was a little afraid of just that card. We're pretty close to being able to win. I guess I don't want to attack that with just 2. Because then I'd have to chump block and they'd eat 1. I'm just going to play this. Two hard counter spells. We can make, I don't know. Maybe we draw Forsake the Worldly. If I had anything to get back, I think I would have. But maybe you're right. I could have, like, just sent all 3 in. I think keeping, or it was probably wrong not to keep Vizier. No, I think the correct play was just to attack with all, or to keep the Vizier, copy the Carnage Tyrant, send all 3 at Danissa. I think was probably the correct play. We have Artifact Destruction in our deck, so if we get lucky and like top deck Forsake the Worldly, Um, then we're potentially in a spot to where, potentially in a spot where it's enough. I don't really want to counterspell this, but I think this next turn is the only turn that matters, so I don't want them to get an additional card. Pretty sure we're pretty close to dead here. So we need like any Vraska's Contempt, any Disallow, any creature. But yeah, I feel like I punted this game. And now they just minus this and we're dead. And there's nothing I can do about it. Not keeping the Vizier was wrong. I think not keeping the Vizier cost us this game. Yeah, I didn't play this game well. They've only got 2 minutes too. If I hadn't conceded the game they won so prematurely, they wouldn't have had enough time to finish this game. So now all they have to do is chump block here and they win. But even if they don't chump block there, they're like in insane shape now. Alright, well, they went forward and we died. Yeah, I punted this game. Because if I'd had the Vizier, I would have been able to copy this and just send all 3 that other turn. I just didn't think well. I didn't think far enough ahead. God, I hate being that bad. We're 1 card away from being able to stop this, too. I'm a trash can. Where's my phone at? Guess this hand's a keep. Oh, please don't be the same deck. I feel like that's a horrible match for us. And we don't have good mana this game. Wonderful. Mono Fog when we picked this deck, and Fog's kind of been dead online for the past 3 or 4 days. Land, please. I played versus it twice this entire week. I've literally played versus it more today than I have every other league combined that I've played this week. Or played it as many times today as I have every other league combined. I would take the Turbo Fog side of that. Land? Yay, 27 land deck, not enough. I mean, I watched a Nassif Fabiano match, and it was trivial for Nassif to win the game. Like, it wasn't particularly close. I assume this game's just over because we don't have lands, because we're going to get to a point in this game where we can't even cast Glimmer, or they just take another turn and win. It was designed to beat Fog, though, and like it still just wasn't beating Fog. How can you design a deck to beat something, and then just beat, and then like your Grixis deck still beat it while beating the rest of the format? I'll take red-black over Grixis almost every day, too. I guess I'm counterspelling this and then just dying to whatever you play. This the main deck commit. I hate that in Fog. I think it's like pretty bad. Okay, that's fine. You can throw the insults at me, but I can throw them right back to you. Like, you can make a comment like, and you don't understand how to fight the Fog deck, but like, you're basing that with zero information and your own opinions. I can say, maybe you don't understand how to fight it. You're definitely insulting me. You just said you don't understand how to fight something, telling me that I don't understand it. Oh. Anyway, this game's tilting me enough. I don't really want to argue. I get highly annoyed when I get mana screwed. It's like the worst part of Magic. Well, I kind of assume we just don't. He can kind of do anything he wants now, but like we can't really do anything better than this. Just resolve another Teferi. Nobody cares. But they play more searches and Teferis than we do. Like, I would agree with you if they didn't have 3 times the number of searches as we do. Can I concede this game yet? I think Fog's favored versus Esper, but I don't know. I don't care about draining his clock. I don't even care about winning by clock. I'm not interested in winning by clock. I think I want these two. I think Baral's just too good in these sideboarded type games. Like on paper, this fog deck shouldn't work right. No, I think it works fine in the meta. Like like it might not be a deck that's going to win week in and week out, but at least for like the PT and until people adjust, like the traditional builds of like red black and stompy and stuff just can't beat it. There's obviously things that people can do to improve those matches, but I'm just saying like the builds up to the Pro Tour couldn't. I'm obsessed with the fog deck. Like I'm pretty confident that it's either the best or the second best deck in the format. But what do I know? I'm just a big scrub. I already threw match 1 away by forgetting or by sideboarding extremely incorrectly game 2 and then making a play error game 3, so I'm certainly not somebody anybody should be listening to in terms of Magic. I mean, I guess I can't even counter. I guess I have to counterspell that. Well, no. Counterspelling that doesn't really do anything because sure I can untap and slam Teferi, but then they can just untap and slam Teferi. I guess they're forced to downtick on my Teferi, but I don't think that really gets me anywhere. I guess it gives me 2 draw steps to draw a negate or a Jace's defeat. But then I'm throwing an entire disallow away on a gift. Just hard pass. Instant regrets as we draw a card that can kill their Teferi. Just wanna point that out. Instant regrets as we draw a card that can actually kill Teferi. That's a card they play? Yeah, it's good enough to counterspell. If it's a card they actually play. Also, I should have played black mana last turn, so I'd had access to Contempt, but like... there's like 0 chance I'm casting Contempt, so I'm not sure it matters. Like, it's clearly a play mistake, but like, I don't think I'm ever casting Contempt. I can't think of a spell under deck that would have made me cast Contempt. But it was definitely the wrong land. I wouldn't have cast Contempt if they played Teferi. I'd have cast Disallow. I think. I don't know, again, maybe I would can Contempt. They're tapped. They can't. They're tapped out. What's the top of this damn thing do? Oh, target creature. The -7's relevant. I guess that's fine too then. Technically messed up there. I should have floated the mana then untapped my mana before before I actually use the field. Just kind of like wasting, or just kind of wanting the F6. Apparently it won't let me tap my thing, so I can't. Work? Oh, my spell not cast. Oh, this is unfortunate, right? Especially because I tapped the wrong mana. Like, forces me to cast a counter spell, and I don't want to cast a counter spell. Feel pretty stupid for tapping that isolated chapel. I'm definitely playing very badly tonight. That's fair, Smurf, but then you're just like filling up your sideboard with a bunch of cards that are bad versus red-black, which is already a bad match versus you. If you're playing Grixis. I've played terrible today. I'm going to have to focus on the next 3 matches. Because this game's over. There's just no way we can win this game from here. We have some number of all of those cards in our deck, too. I concur. I guess that's something. Even if my cards won't cast. Wait. What the hell? Apparently I'm lagging too. Assume they have a second counter spell, or they're just gonna like untap and play another Teferi. None of this matters. And that's about as expected. Can we concede this game too? I guess we won't concede this game, but this game's over. We can't beat any one of the cards they have in play, much less 2 or 3 of them. We had a reasonable draw too, like we hit 4 counter spells and a removal spell. It legitimately just does not matter. I am not a fan of Lightning Strike in this format. I'm a fan of like every Lightning Strike just being cut ribbons. I did not pay attention to see if my opponent played something to get another turn. JK, they did. Hey, so now if they have one effect to draw an extra card, we lose. Or take an extra turn. Oh, Harness Lightning, my bad. I thought we were talking about red black. I just got confused. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about a different deck entirely. No, if you're playing Grix, it's definitely Harness. You actually have a way to use the energy. I just thought we were talking about a different deck. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Like, all they need's one way to take an additional turn, and then they can just minus that thing twice. But even if they don't, they have, like, you know, they could have cast something to draw an extra turn this game, and I'm just not paying attention. It's probably better than Karn. Karn is not good in this deck. I don't care what people say, Karn is actively bad in this deck. Dovin's probably a genius play. Okay, there's the Nexus of Fate, so we're dead on board. They don't even have to do anything special. They also get the Fairy Ultimate. Like, Karn's so bad. But Karn can end the game. That's the one good thing about Karn is once you have them to Fairy Locked, you can end the game without like making them mill out. But if you have Nissa in your deck, I don't know if you have to worry. If you have Nissa and commit, you don't even have to worry about that. You can just kill them with your Nissa and your commit. Yeah. Karn can win the game after you're doing your Teferi crap. But, like, he's got Nissa and he's got commit, so it's like, even if you kill his Nissa, he gets it back later. And, like, Nissa threatens to win a game just as quickly when you're doing that stuff. You have to have some way to end a game. Those what I've tested the most. It's just not been very impressive. Honestly, most people just concede when I have to Fairy Ultimate anyway. I never get to the point where I'm like carning them out. It's because people don't like you. People love me. the... I definitely have to try to focus this match. I feel like I've not been focused the other two matches. Like, I'm super tired. Don't really want to play tonight, but like didn't want to miss a day where we'd already done like so much. Maybe I'm a modern player now. Maybe I shouldn't be playing standard ever since I got my first modern trophy last night. Alright, well, it's been long enough I guess it's time to check and see if it's our connection. One of the best ways to always check is just go to a bot and open up trade, see if it works. Doesn't matter what bot. Alright, well, the trade works, so it's not on our end. Alright, well, opponent's got about 3 minutes and 40 seconds to come back. I apologize for the wait. If I knew if my Eternal was updated, I have no idea, but if I knew it was updated, we could play a game of Eternal while we wait. I don't want to start an update though, because it would definitely drop the stream if it needed to update. That's how bad my connection is. You guys, I could open up my spreadsheet and you guys could watch me do my spreadsheet work that I have to do when I get off the stream. Ooh, 109. Two minutes and 30 seconds. I know what I'll do. I will post our modern video from you on YouTube from yesterday. For anybody who likes to watch, keep that in mind. That, you know, there's a link below the stream. Wink, wink. that you should all, like, you know, be following of my Twitter. I said Twitter. There's one of those two, but I meant YouTube. I just too stupid to talk, so get over it. Oops. Yes, leave that page. Update the image. So, yeah, I can firmly say that I've not made a incorrect play this game, at least. We got that going for us. Probably the only game today that I won't punt. Yay! Now we have a Black Red Vengevine video posted. We're so good at our job. So close. What? But we win. It's been 10 minutes. It auto makes them keep their hand? That's kind of weird. It like auto draws you hands and makes you keep when you time out. By the way, notice that that was like at like 14:55 and now it's 15:40 or something. That's crazy. Well, that was a fun 10-minute waste for anybody who was sitting in this chat or watching this YouTube video, and I apologize. If I knew how to edit, I would edit that out, but unfortunately, A, I'm too stupid to edit, and B, my upload speeds are so bad that I probably couldn't post a video that I edited anyway. But we're on the scoreboard. If we win the next 2 rounds, we've managed to go an entire week cashing every event. So the pressure's on. Will we get there? Ah! Yeah, this hand's a keep. This hand's pretty good. Maybe this opponent won't come back either. Hey, that's the type of opponent that we want to play versus when we play this deck. Man, you talking moon speak, dude. I don't know what that is. You think I'm smart enough to do whatever you're talking about? You crazy. I'm a good old dumb redneck here. We're lucky that I can get my shoes on in the morning. I guess I'll counterspell it. Because taking 3 damage is to suck. I can't even pronounce this word, much less do whatever you're telling me to do. I guess I'll counterspell that too. Oh, Hello, friend. Hello, our friend the Teferi. How art thou? Homie, no. Well, that was, not bad. Yeah, well, we're just not losing this game. That's how they are to it. Thank you very much, Blitz. That's highly appreciative. Supposed syllables. But you're using them in that sentence. Man. Yeah, I was clapping my hands together so I could count them as we were going. No. Get. Get on out of here. I played that land incorrectly. Alright. I'm going to untap his mountain because I feel good. There you go. There's your mountain. I don't care. This game's over. We have free torrential gear hooks, and it would have taken just too much time and effort for me to care enough to tap my lands and untap them correctly. If he'd had 4 mana up, we would have done it right just so we wouldn't have to get smashed by like maybe an end of turn Vraska's Contempt or something. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why I chose this one to do it with and not the others. I guess it's because I'm just pressing F6 this turn. Oh no, I've been shocked. And by I mean Mr. Teferi. It's kind of interesting that they're playing Shock. Do, 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 do. You resolve. La 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 la. I assume they're conceding and they're not going to let me cast a spell. Yes, they've conceded. Yeah. Well, in my experience, you don't even have to sideboard this match. That card's a kind of a neat idea that I'm kind of just wanting to try. Walking Ballista's okay, but not great. I don't think we need Viziers. I just don't think we need any of this stuff. Could argue that Sorcerer's Spyglass is good enough. It's like literally the only card that I even remotely want to consider here. Well, other than like maybe Chromium, even though like I'm pretty confident that Chromium's bad, but like I kind of just want to try it. Sorcerer's Spyglass isn't bad though, because you can like call Scrapheap Scrounger, you can call Beaumont, you can call Chandra, you can call Hazoret. If they're playing Angrath, you can call Angrath, but like it's also not good because they're probably not sideboarding out all their Braids, and there's just no reason to give them extra value on a card like that. Do I have things in my main deck that I think are worse than it? And like maybe my Search for Azcanta might be a little worse than it, but that's really it. Like, I'm pretty locked with what I like out of my deck here. I know that I used to play the Brad Nelson build of this deck, which has a very, very, very similar main deck. And versus Black Red Aggro, he would take out like a Disallow and a Syncopate. and both of his searches. But like he had Hours of Glory and cast downs and stuff in the sideboard, which we're just not playing anymore. But I think I'm gonna try the Sorcerer's Spyglass. I don't think the Yeeni's particularly good because like killing one half of a scrap heap's not great. Um, Killing like one half of a Rekilling Phoenix isn't great, etc. Alright, we'll keep. He's mulliganing again. Our hand's kind of weak, like Glimmer doesn't shine here, but we already have at least one removal spell for the early threats. And that's really enough for me to try it. Because like killing a turn 2 Karizev or a Scrap Heap Scrounger like can honestly just buy you basically infinite time. Well, that's awkward. Not as awkward as we thought. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Alright, well they have a pretty good draw, and we don't have very much going on right now. I have to see what additional things that they have to go with it. Like if they just follow it up with a Chandra this turn or a Hazoret, we're probably in trouble. Yeah, I saw them playing Infernal Reckoning, and I'm like not sold on it, but like maybe it's okay. If I knew every red-black player was playing Heart of Kirin, I think I would like it more, but like more and more people are taking the Heart of Kirins out of their red-black decks. Alright, so we are actually in serious trouble at this point. Unless for some reason they play around Settle, which they're unlikely to. I would imagine this game's over. They had a stellar curve. They're taking a moment to pause. I actually think they're going to play around Settle, which is kind of nice. I actually did not even look at that. Not looked at all the Orlando decks yet. I like perused them, but if our opponent just swings all out and puts us at 6 here, I think the game's over. Unless we literally like rattled off like Contempt into Gearhulk or something crazy. Or like Contempt into Gearhulk into Contempt. Alright, well they decided not to care. There's a Contempt. Feel like it's not enough. We're still just dead, right? Could have killed the Pia. On my turn, and we'd have went up to 8. They would have been attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but killing this one seems like it's technically better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then if they just have a removal spell, we're dead, so I guess this one then. I'm pretty sure we're just dead no matter what. Sure. So we're still just dead. They can pump this. Maybe we can try this for just these special games that they get those type of draws. I don't think the Yahini's particularly good, though. We just have to get more of these spells. Like, it's hard to win the game when you only draw one of your 2 and 1 drops. Alright, this hand's okay. Actually, gonna go ahead and put that one on top. And hope that this isn't a Heart of Kieran draw. Meh. I don't want to take the point of damage. Most of the things that they can play here wouldn't be good enough to cast down anyway. Or that we get another turn to do it next turn. This one's actually interesting. I kinda want to kill this, since they tapped their black mana. But like, this can just beat us. They hadn't tapped their black mana, I would have taken 3 and killed this. That's not particularly good for us. Like, we're really far behind now. Feels like we have to do something crazy, like actually hit an untapped white source, which there's not a lot in our deck. There's like 8, I think. There might be 7. We have the Yahini that we can hit too. Alright. So, Trouble O'Clock. We need mana and relevant spells. That's not a good place for us to be. Alright, well, you got us. We'll go ahead and kill this one because they can sack the other one anyway. That's the only way we get a guaranteed amount of life, even though like just killing this is obviously better. They have enough just to beat us with what's on the board. Ooh, and they had another creature. It's not good for us. This is what I refer to as just dead, no outs. Though maybe a Torrential Gearhulk would be an out. We're going to lose our easy match because we just drew nothing. Well, I shouldn't say we drew nothing. We drew a lot. Well, that's unfortunate. I feel like we need those sideboard cards to really sure that match up. Alright, well. Failed, can't cash. I think that puts my total record with Esper versus like the red-black decks at something like 17-3 though. Might be 16-3. I don't have the spreadsheet, or I don't have the thumb, or what do you call it? The thumb drive? Yeah, I don't have that in here It's got my spreadsheets on them. So I can't even look right now. But it's something insane. Like, that match is actually generally hard to lose, though they were more aggressive than a typical build, so that does sway it. Feel like we could be 2-2 had I not punted round 1. I've noticed I draw a lot less fatal pushes than my opponents draw Beaumont couriers, even though we play the same amount. Might be playing Wizard Red, so I'm just going to counterspell anything I can counterspell here. Should have waited to the attack step. But I'd have probably disallowed that anyway, so. Turns out being okay. Got me. Alright, we need a Teferi or a Gearhulk, and we need it quick. They drew so many more spells than us this game. I guess I have to counterspell that, even though I don't really want to. Don't particularly think it's a good card, but when I'm probably slightly behind on getting to loot that much would be pretty savage. Alright, well that's potentially the nail in the coffin. JK, probably not nail in the coffin then, since they're playing Hazards in this deck. Well, I don't want them throwing damage at me, so. We have a good blocker. Yeah, I've not played particularly well. Yeah, okay, we win this game, I think. I'll be surprised if a contempt and a disallow isn't enough to get us there. Don't mind being at 1 life, so. Might have been worth it to disallow that. It would have made their shocks less good. It feels like they have to draw a double burn spell or it doesn't matter. But anyway, tell our opponent. So this is probably fine here. This is probably fine here. These are actually probably fine here. I'm going to shave some of these more expensive spells. Brought in a negate for that. We'll cut a couple glimmers too. Yeah, tonight's been a kind of an anemic night. Like, we just got smashed in the 3 matches we played. Even though I felt pretty favored in one of them. Then we had a 10-minute timeout, which I would love to be able to edit out of the video or whatever. But like I said, too stupid, don't know how. So hopefully people won't hate it too bad. Incoming lots of negative comments and downvotes, but that's okay. His hands are good. We got a couple removal spells and a game-ending spell. I would like one more, like, 1 or 2 mana card, but I'm not allowed to have everything I want in this world. That's not how life works, and I've already had ice cream today, so I can't be upset if the magic gods don't love me. But their draw seems horrible. Just horrible. Because I have so many haste creatures, we'll just go into this and then smash. And we'll flex. What do we obtain from you? Pretty easy decision, I guess. Got me. Jam this thing. Yeah, supermarket ice cream. But it was hand delivered to me, and then my mother put it on a cone for me, so. If that's not winning, I don't know what is, man. I think I'm just going to throw Teferi away. It gains 5 life. If they choose to attack it. If they choose not to attack it, that's even better for us. And we can somehow hit a removal spell here. Like, there's 5 2-mana removal spells we can hit. That's still in our deck. Didn't hit one, but that's okay. Just saving 5 damage is pretty good. Alright, well I'm starting to lag again. Fun times. Just untap my lands, please. Please. Please, Moto. A mono white player ready for Turbo Fog. Oh gosh, what did he have? I think that's good enough to actually counterspell. At least two. At least two. Good to go. I assume this is goodbye to Fairy. You'll be missed forever. Oh gosh, another one of those? That's unfortunate. Let me hit that guy because there's still a lightning strike that we know about in his hand. And as of right now, they don't have enough mana to double on these or like double that up into that. So this seems like a pretty nice brick wall for the time being. Wait. Oh, that was the card I drew for the turn. Sure. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. I thought we'd won, and now we've not. So I can give my bro -4/-4. It's pretty solid. Oh, wow. They actually discarded the lightning. Does that mean they just drew Hazard or something? And the Ray become confused. I've only drawn 6 spells this game. 7, sorry, 7 spells. I guess I'm supposed to block. Alright, well, things are going very badly. Well, at least we have a counterspell for that one. So we go down to 5 this turn. And you draw something pretty good then. Disallow is not something pretty good. I'm going to play, I'm going to bring back in an extra Glimmer. Maybe shave one duress on the play. I apparently took the cast down out instead of the search, so that was a misclick, but we don't have to tell nobody about that. I just want this back in my deck too. Alright, duress. Change my mind, duresses. You're not good enough. Eh, we got wrecked. Are we about the 0-4 league? I mean, we're scooping regardless, but are we about to fairly 0-4 league? I guess this hand's a keep. Can cost. We have a removal spell to kill like a Beaumont Courier. And then we have a Disallow and a Glimmer. I don't play a Beaumont Courier, we're going to seem real silly, ain't we? Can kill an Earthshaker Kenra too. kind of like dies to a goblin thingamabob. We're not too worried about a goblin thingamabob because of the disallow. Saved us 2 points of damage. Ooh, that's a good one. Down to 3 cards already, though. And just draw a swamp and win the game? That'd be swell. Close, but no cigar. Alright, deck, you can do it. One time swamp us. That's not a swamp. That's not a swamp at all. Huh. They have 1 card in their hand. I want my land. That might have been more lucky than good. Wow, they have nothing. Guess there's no reason for us to do that at this time. Yeah. I would be shocked not to win from here. Land? So we can answer the next question, then we have a counter spell and a contempt. That has to be good enough, right? They have all those 4 and 5 drops and they still have Flame of Keld. I've never been a fan of that, though some people tell me I'm just wrong and that I should be a fan of it. I've personally not liked it, but that doesn't mean I'm right. I can easily just be wrong. Yeah, so we technically won a game. I mean, I don't mind Flame of Keld. I like Flame of Keld, but I don't like Flame of Keld. I don't like a bunch of Flame of Kelds and then like Chandras and Hazarets and all of these free drops because it feels to me like every single time that I'm doing that like I draw a Flame of Keld in like my opening hand and I can never leverage a good spot to play it because like on 3, 4, 5, and 6 I'm always playing spells, and then like on turn 7 and 8 it just doesn't feel great. I assume that's what it's for, but I'm not exactly sure. It was in a couple people's sideboards. I think there was one in Waffle Toppa's sideboard as well. This deck also has Yahini's Expertise and Vizier, so like it's not completely dead to Vine Mare. He can target Carnage Tyrant with it too. That's fair. You can get those nasty Ghasts of St. Traphs with it. The deck felt fine. Like, I don't think it's particularly well positioned. I know it won a Grand Prix, and I know Control and mid-range done particularly well all weekend, but like, I just feel like the red-black decks are good enough now that like you can't just like rely on beating them. And if you can't rely on beating them, then I think I kind of want to stay away from it. Well, the only person I followed is playing Standards Conley, so I guess we're going to host Conley. Anyway, take care, everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.